Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Ask Me Anything Facebook Live on the International Student Experience. I'm Mercy. I use she, her pronouns, and I am the Resource and Information Communications Assistant at the Center for International Experience, also known as CIE. I'm heading into my fourth and final year at U of T with a double major in psychology and political science. And a little bit about my experience with the school. I started in 2021 during the pandemic, which wasn't ideal and a little nerve-wracking and isolating, to be honest, because it was in the middle of lockdown with a bunch of restrictions. But I've since forged my own path, getting comfortable in my programs, making new friends, and building my own community and taking risks and taking advantage of the opportunities offered by the school have strengthened by a person living in a rapidly changing world. So I'm very grateful for the experiences I've had while at U of T.
And I'm Hannah. I use she, her pronouns, and I am the program coordinator for orientation and community programs, which is part of the International Student Experience team here at CIE. And unlike Mercy, I am not an international student, but I was once new to Canada and can relate to some of the emotions you might be feeling right now, that perhaps nerves, excitement. So big part of my role, which I really enjoy doing, is offering opportunities to international students such as yourselves to find answers to questions, make connections, and really help you build a community here on the St. George campus. So I'm excited to be here with Mercy this afternoon to connect with you live and welcome you to U of T. While CIE offers a wide variety of services, resources, and programs for students on the St. George campus, today we're going to focus more on the international student services and share with you some just really important and helpful reminders for you to know as you start looking ahead to the start of your fall term.
And as an incoming international student, your transition to the University of Toronto will probably have a few extra layers compared to that of your Canadian counterparts. You'll have to become familiar with terms such as study permit and UHIP. You'll have to learn how to navigate a new transit system, set up a bank account, and later in the winter, file Canadian income taxes. And managing all of this on top of being a student at U of T can feel overwhelming, but that's a part of why the CIE is here. Throughout this Facebook Live, Hannah and I will do our best to share useful resources, direct you to some of our pre-arrival programming, and answer any questions you have to help make your transition to U of T as smooth as possible.
So there are many things that you will need to prepare for as an international student before starting your journey to UofT, but really the most important thing that needs to be done first is get your study permit. So your study permit is that official legal document that allows you to study in Canada. And it is recommended that you apply for a study permit as soon as you receive your offer of admission. So hopefully you've already done that. Additionally, depending on the country you are coming from, you may need to apply for other documents to come to Canada. So it's really important to know what you need early on. Securing all the proper documentation, it can be confusing, and you can find more detailed information on CIE's immigration webpage, including resources on studying, entering, and working in Canada. You can choose to meet one-on-one with an immigration advisor or participate in one of the many virtual Q&A sessions that are held throughout the summer. And in fact, the next Q&A session on study permits and entry documents will take place on July 24th at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Just be sure to watch the relevant recordings before attending with your questions. Once you feel you have kind of a handle on your study permit and your other entry documents, our immigration advising team really would like you to watch and view the After Entry to Canada section of the International Experience website. This page hosts a number of helpful videos, including one on your legal documents in Canada, and another on working in Canada if that is something you are interested in doing. Please note, though, that only a licensed immigration advisor can advise you on immigration matters. So if you have questions that can't be answered by what is available to you on the website, we do encourage you to reach out and connect directly with the immigration advising team. And we'll be posting the contact information and links to them, as well as other resources throughout the Facebook Live.
The topic of healthcare might not be something that you feel you need to think about right now, since it is still summer, but it is important to understand how your healthcare coverage works once you become a student at U of T. As a registered international student, the Universal Health Insurance Plan, or UHIP, is your mandatory primary insurance. You are automatically enrolled into UHIP and will remain enrolled for the duration of your studies as long as you remain a registered international student, which means that you are paying your minimum fees. And for those of you whose enrollment begins in the fall, your UHIP coverage will start on September 1st. And to receive the welcome package from Cohen, which is the insurance provider, you must update your UofT email on Acorn. The welcome package will include instructions on how to access your card, as well as your UHIP certificate number. And this is a really important step to take because the welcome package will not get sent to an email address that is not a UofT email. So they will only send to UofT email addresses. And your UHIP coverage will cover up to $1 million per policy year for eligible medically necessary health services. So it will cover things like physician's visits and diagnostics in Ontario, hospital care, ambulances, and more. And you can see the full details of what UHIP covers on our website, as well as our coverage comparison. And as Hannah mentioned, all of that will be available in the comments. And while UHIP is very valuable, it's important to know that there are also things that UHIP does not cover. This includes prescription medication, dental services, vision and eyeglasses, therapy, and travel insurance. These services are covered by your supplementary health insurance plan, which is provided by Green Shield and administered by your student union. If you have any questions about these services, you should contact your student union directly. We know that trying to understand your healthcare, how your healthcare coverage works can be confusing, especially when you have coverage under two plans. So the UHIP team has created a series of UHIP Q&A sessions to help. These Q&A sessions will take place throughout this month and next month, and they'll give you a chance to chat directly with a UHIP advisor. The UHIP team will also be hosting several UHIP 101 sessions where you can learn about setting up and accessing your UHIP card, your coverage details, as well as providing tips on making the most of your insurance. And finally, the team will be hosting several health services overview sessions where you can learn about healthcare, mental health, and accessibility supports available on campus. All of these sessions will take place virtually to ensure that as many people as possible can attend.
So in addition to the services and resources offered to international students through our just amazing immigration advising and UHIP teams, you can find further support through CIE's International Student Experience Team, which I'm happy to be a part of. So our ISE team leads events and programming tailored to support and enrich the academic and co-curricular experiences of international and globally minded students, just from pre-arrival, which is where you are now, to graduation and beyond. We work with partners across the St. George campus on programs to help really support you in various aspects of your student experience. So as you transition from high school to university, if you're undergrad, or perhaps undergrad to graduate studies, the way you learn may change. You may encounter new situations that require a different approach than before. So I really encourage you to attend the Learning at U of T as an International Student Q&A sessions that the ISE team hosts in partnership with the Center for Learning Strategy Support. There is one for international undergrad students and one for international graduate students. So make sure you're signing up for the one that most applies to you. Bring any questions you have about academic studies at U of T. There will be student peer mentors facilitating a short presentation, and then you'll get the chance to ask your questions anonymously.
We recognize that besides preparing for your courses, there's also a lot of other things for you to consider as you prepare for your arrival at U of T. From deciding what to pack and what you can buy here, finding your way from the airport to campus, and navigating a new city to getting involved and making new friends, the IAC team has got you covered with a variety of pre-arrival programs and resources to guide you. This Thursday, July 18th, the IAC team will host its first of two Toronto tip sessions. During both sessions, we'll share some of our insider tips and tricks for living in Toronto. We'll highlight things to do, see, and discover, including things that have been recommended by other students. We'll chat about the weather, the food, and how to navigate the TTC, which includes the subway, the buses, and streetcars, which will become very useful when you're trying to get around Toronto in the future. And later this month, on July 31st, there will be a cultural adjustment workshop where panelists will talk about homesick adjusting to a new culture. It's a reminder that you aren't alone or the only one feeling homesick, and it will give you tips to start building your confidence in navigating a new environment before you even arrive. And in August, we'll be hosting two student panels called I Wish I Had Known, with the first one focusing on the first year undergraduate experience for international students, and the second focusing on the new international graduate student experience. Several upper year international students will be talking about their personal experiences during their first years at U of T. So you'll get to hear what surprises and challenges they encountered. And it'll be a great opportunity to ask questions and maybe get answers to some things you've either been curious or worried about yourself.
And if you're looking for maybe a little bit more personalized support that will kind of help you build connections and feel more a part of the U of T community, I highly recommend becoming part of the Bridging Connections mentorship program. By participating, you'll be grouped with an upper year peer student mentor who will essentially be your first point of contact to really help you as you transition to U of T. So the Bridging Connections mentorship program is open to all St. George students and consists of a series of both virtual and in-person activities that run from late August through November. And by participating, not only will you be getting support, getting those answers to your questions, building the community, but you can also earn recognition on the co-curricular record, or CCR. And CCR provides you with a way to just really capture the skills and experiences you have outside of the classroom during your time at U of T. I will say that, spots are limited in this mentorship program. So we'll put the link to the application in the comment section, and be sure you submit your application by August 2nd.
Hannah and I could go on and on about all the amazing events and programs that the IAC team is offering later this summer and into the fall term, but we don't want to take up too much time.
Mhm.
So please be sure to check out our events calendar on the International Experience website to get a fuller view of everything that is coming up. You can register for most of our events through the Folio platform.
And most likely there are questions and concerns that we haven't been able to address directly this afternoon. But just don't worry, we have plenty of virtual resources available for you to access no matter where you are currently. Make sure to head over to our virtual resource and information communication hub. This part of our website is packed with all kinds of information on pre-arrival, arriving, finances. You can find links to pre-recorded sessions and important news and updates. I know our RI Hub team is always working hard to update the resource library. And if you can't find your answer there, please don't hesitate to reach out to us by email. And be sure to keep an eye out your inboxes for the International Student Update e-newsletter to arrive. As an international student, you are automatically enrolled. We've already sent out one addition to incoming international undergrad students, with one more scheduled later this month and one more in mid-August. And these e-newsletters are just a really great tool to stay, in the know on all things that are happening at CIU.
That's all for Hannah and me today. We've hoped that you learned something new, walk away with a new resource or contact, or even plan on signing up for an event that caught your interest. Becoming a U of T student is a huge accomplishment that comes with a lot of excitement, anticipation, and sometimes anxiety as well. As you begin your journey, we hope that you'll remember you have so many resources available to you at the Center for International Experience, so please don't hesitate to reach out at all to get in touch with us. We'll stick around for a few more minutes to answer any questions in the chat, but thank you for joining us, and we hope to see you at a future event.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
I do see that we have had a couple questions come in so far, which is amazing. There is one question about specific clubs for dual citizen students that perhaps haven't lived in Canada before. I'm not aware of a specific club with that goal in mind, but I do know U of T has many clubs, and perhaps we'll be able to pop in the link to the portal where students can search up what club they're looking for kind of based off interest. Mercy, do you know of any clubs supporting dual citizens?
Not at the top of my head, but I was going to mention the portal as well. But also, August 30th, 2024 is the club's carnival. So it's this big carnival that takes place in the middle of campus, like the St. George campus. And there's a lot of student clubs that participate as well. And I had the chance to participate in it last year, and I can attest there were a lot of different types of clubs there. So if you're hoping to join a club, find a community, you'll definitely find options there. There were academic clubs, cultural clubs, athletic clubs, so many types, and they all had so many informations and like fun things to give out. So if you're in Toronto by August 30th, that is something that you should definitely check out.
That's a great resource. Thank you for sharing that. I forgot about the Club's Carnival. Really big event. Another question that came in was again about dual citizens paying domestic tuition fees and how that kind of works with UHIP versus OHIP. And that's a really great question. I would encourage you to go take a look at the UHIP page of our International Experience website. There's a lot of information. I do know that there are exemptions. And if you're still not sure, if you can't find the answer you're looking for, reach out to the UHIP team. They are more than happy to support you and provide an answer to that. Oh, we've got another question come in. Do you have recommendations for phone plans? I can't say I have a specific recommendation. I know we have, some of the bigger companies like Bell, Rogers, TELUS. There are some, the smaller ones, Kudo, Fido, Virgin Mobile. There might be even some I'm missing. If you navigate to the our website under the Resource and Information Hub, there is a section on Upon Arrival that talks a little bit about choosing a phone plan that's right for you. Many companies do have packages for students. Sometimes they offer special deals around kind of the beginning of each school year. You can, bring your own unlocked phone or purchase a phone with an annual contract. It's really kind of dependent on what you're looking for and what kind of plan you want to have. So I highly encourage you, check that out. It is under the International Experience website, under Resource and Information page, Upon Arrival section. Mercy, do you have any experience from yourself? And that's okay.
Not really. Yeah, I'm personally with Freedom. It's pretty good, but there are a lot of phone companies with student plans and deals. So definitely look around before you commit to one, because there's a lot of options out there.
And I don't think we have any more questions. So thank you again for tuning in. We look forward to welcoming you in person at some point and hope to see you out at some of our future programming.
Thank you.